Between Wilfred Benitez and Mustafa Hamsho. Hello again, everyone. I'm Al Michaels. This is a non-title fight, but it's a 12-round fight because the WBC has sanctioned this as an official elimination fight. The winner of this fight is in line to meet Marvelous Marvin Hagler for the middleweight championship of the world. Now, Hagler holds both the WBA and WBC crowns, and if you follow boxing, you know that Marvin has had his problems with the WBC. He does not want to fight 12-round championship fights, which is the new ruling by the WBC. He wants to go 15, as is the case with the WBA. And of course, as you know, he has signed to fight Roberto Duran in this same ring in November. So conceivably, the WBC could see fit to strip Hagler of his title. If that is the case, then conceivably this could be for, retrospectively, the middleweight championship, at least as far as the WBC is concerned. In any event, it figures to be a very good fight. Two contrasting styles. Benitez, masterful on defense against the very aggressive Mustafa Hamsho. Right now, let's take a look at the boxing history of Wilfred Benitez. In 1973, Wilfred entered the North American Boxing Championships in Milwaukee, telling officials that he was 17 years old. In fact, he was only 14. But even at that tender age, he had incredible skills, which won him the featherweight title. 3 years later, when he really was 17, Benitez met the legendary veteran Antonio Cervantes for the WBA Junior Welterweight Championship. And Wilfred dominated his highly favored opponent to become the youngest champion in boxing history. He won his second title from Carlos Palomino in the searing heat of San Juan, Puerto Rico, as Benitez gave his hometown fans a dazzling exhibition of counterpunching and defense to win the WBC Welterweight Championship. It was that WBC crown that was on the line in Las Vegas when Benitez met Sugar Ray Leonard in a battle of unbeatens. And here in the 15th and final round, it was Sugar Ray who knocked Benitez down. Moments later, the ref stopped it as Wilfred suffered his first loss. After Leonard, Benitez moved up to fight as a super welterweight, and in May of 1981, he scored a devastating knockout over then-champion Morris Hope to become only the 5th boxer in history to win titles in 3 divisions. Then late last year, Benitez defended his WBC super welterweight crown against Thomas Hearns, and it was Hearns taking Benitez's title with his combined skills as a boxer and puncher. In his only fight since losing to Hearns, Benitez moved up in weight once again to the middleweight division, beating a determined club fighter named Tony Serta in a tune-up for today's fight with Hamsho. Now, Mustafa Hamsho is a 29-year-old southpaw who was born and raised in Syria, makes his home now in Bayonne, New Jersey, has lost only twice in 40 professional fights. Let's have a look at Hamsho's boxing history. The first big victory in Hamsho's career was against former middleweight champion Alan Minter here in Las Vegas, as Mustafa used a strategy of non-stop aggression to score a very convincing 10-round decision and earn a shot at the world champion. But against Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Hamsho was never in the fight, as the champion gave him a non-stop beating. Only his tremendous heart allowed Mustafa to stay on his feet until the ref rescued him from further punishment in the 11th round. A lot of people may have considered Hamsho through as a contender at that point, but against unbeaten Bobby Ches, he proved them wrong as he scored an impressive win that put him right back into the middleweight title picture. But since the Ches fight last November, Hamsho has been inactive, except for this win last month against journeyman Gil Rosario. And there's some question about how sharp he'll be today against a fighter of Benitez's talent. All right, so it's coming up very shortly. We're looking forward to it. Should be a good fight. Mustafa Hamsho against Wilfred Benitez, live from Las Vegas. So stay with us in just a moment. One rank by the WBC in the middleweight division. He has lost only twice. And, of course, he lost to Marvin Hagler for the middleweight title in October of 1981. His other loss was in his very first professional fight back in '75. And there, the 3-time champion Wilfred Benitez, 3 different titles he has held: WBA Junior Welterweight Champ, WBC World Welterweight Champ, WBC Super Welterweight Champ. And he has lost only twice, to Sugar Ray Leonard and to Thomas Hearns. The Hearns loss costing him the WBC Super Welterweight title. Now, Hamsho is 29. Benitez, though he's been around a long time, just 24. The two weighed in at 6 o'clock this morning. Hamsho 1 pound heavier. The height, very little difference there. The reach, no difference there. So here we go. the winner in line for the WBC middleweight championship. Marvin Hagler, currently the holder of both the WBA and WBC crowns. Hamsho is a very aggressive fighter. He's in the green trunks. He's left-handed. He was born in Latakia, Syria, and now makes his home in Bayonne, New Jersey, which is a rather odd quinella. Benitez was born in New York City and then went back to Puerto Rico when he was 7 years old. Benitez, one of the most effective counterpunchers around today in any weight division. Great defensive skills, great hand and foot speed, and a man who quite often spends a lot of time along the ropes, but counterpunches very effectively from that position. Hamsho, as we say, is aggressive. Some would say Hamsho has no style. He can be a bull. He can be very wild. He is prone to fouling from time to time. Each man with just 2 losses in extensive careers. The referee is Davy Pearl. He does not figure in the scoring. The 3 judges at ringside will score. 10-point must system is in effect. Lou Tabbitt, Chuck Minker, and Dalby Shirley, all from Las Vegas, are the judges. The 3 knockdown rule is not in effect. The mandatory 8 count is, and also the standing 8 count will be in effect, if so decreed by Davy Pearl. There's no saving by the bell except in the 12th round. First round action. The temperature in Las Vegas today about 100 degrees, but frankly they're fighting under a canvas here in the first round, and it's more comfortable than you might imagine. There's a nice breeze blowing through, and the humidity is quite low, so it's not like 100 degrees in San Juan. So far Hamsho is dictating the action here in the first round, and Benitez showing a little less movement here in the first round than he normally does as Hamsho puts the pressure on. Again, that's a familiar position for Benitez, to be up against those ropes. He's normally able to pick off everything, and you can see that shoulder by Hamsho. He mentioned he's prone to fouling from time to time, though there's no warning there issued by Davy Pearl. Under a half minute to go in the first round, scheduled for 12. Hamsho looking very, very sharp here in the first round. Benitez is favored anywhere from 2-1 to 5-2 here in Vegas. Good round for Hamsho. Hamsho and Benitez as the first round comes to an end. We're back live in Las Vegas. Al Michaels at ringside at the outdoor stadium at the Dunes Hotel. Mustafa Hamsho, the left-hander in green. Wilfred Benitez in the white trunks. Hamsho has dedicated this fight to his late trainer and manager, Patty Flood, who died suddenly, relatively young man, in late March. And he has dedicated this fight to Flood's memory. He came out very sharp in the first round. He worked on Benitez's body. Those who have fought Benitez will tell you it's very difficult to hit him in the head. Great movement. So Hamsho came out, worked on the body. He was the aggressor in the first round, and we had him winning it clearly. 12-rounder WBC elimination bout. Benitez looking relatively listless, although it's extremely early in the fight, just a minute into the second round. Benitez, a world champion at the age of 17, now 24. Hamsho is 29. In the history piece, we detailed that Hamsho lost to Hagler. People thought, well, that would do it as far as any more championship contention was concerned. But that victory over Bobby Ches last November put him back in the limelight. He's had 1 tune-up since, and he's in line for a shot at the title if he wins here today. But, of course, Hagler will be taking on Duran. Again, the pressure being put on here by Hamsho. So far, it has not been Benitez's kind of fight. An inside brawl, fully dictated by Hamsho. We'd like to alert our local stations along the line. At the end of this round, we'll be taking a station break. Good right by Benitez, his most effective blow of the bout thus far. In the final minute now of the second round. Hamsho trying to stay inside on it. Hamsho staying on top of him. Benitez having a tough time keeping him away. Hamsho has been in pursuit. He's been the aggressor through the first two. And apparently has no respect for Benitez's punch. At least at this point. One thing about Hamsho, he is prone to cuts. He was really cut up in that Hagler fight. Took 52 stitches, in fact. Second round coming to an end. We'll return after this commercial message and a word from our local stations. Start of the third round in Las Vegas. Mustafa Hamsho in the green trunks. Wilfred Benitez in the white trunks. Hamsho, the southpaw, has been aggressive. He's tried to stay inside. Certainly controlled the first round. And probably the second as well. Again, the three judges will be doing the scoring on the 10-point must system. Referee Davey Pearl has no voice in the decision. So Benitez, the three-time world champion and the favorite here in Las Vegas, anywhere from 2-1 to 5-2. Getting off to a rather staggering start today. Now Benitez tries to fight his way back, and down he goes, but that's a slip, and a warning being issued to Mustafa Hamsho by Davey Pearl. Good left, and another good left by Mustafa Hamsho. Benitez in a little bit of trouble here in the third round, maybe more than a little bit, and again it's Benitez trying to hold on that time, and down he goes. That's a slip. He was thrown down for the second time. So Hamsho relentless now in his pursuit. Benitez is hurt. Benitez trying to hold on. Look at Benitez holding on to the legs of Hamsho halfway through the third round. Benitez, look at him, staggering backwards. Hamsho with a chance to end it here in the third round. Benitez obviously pushed down there, took a blow while he was on his knees. That is not scored as a knockdown. Pearl has his hands full. Benitez hits a solid left. He's in major trouble right now. A right, another left. Benitez doesn't know where he is at this point. Hamsho trying to move in for the kill here in the third round. Another right. Benitez going down. Again, it appears that he had slipped down, but he's having a lot of trouble maintaining his balance. He is slipping and he's being pushed down, and he's been down 4 times in the round without an official knockdown being scored. Hamsho has him in the corner, another right. Benitez in major trouble. Hamsho working on him in the corner. Benitez can't get out of the corner with 20 seconds to go in the third round. Again, you can't be saved by the bell except for the 12th and final round. A good staggering right jab. Benitez taking a terrible beating here in the third round. Still bobbing and weaving, and he may outlast the round. It appears he will. Where is the bell? There it is. This round was longer. I was looking at the timekeeper. He was looking at the ring at that particular point as it went past the 3-minute mark, and that round was fully 2 or 3 seconds over the 3-minute limit. Now, Benitez down on the deck 4 times in that round. No official knockdowns, but looking at Wilfred in major trouble as we take a look here. Hamsho, the aggressor throughout, spent all 3 minutes basically pummeling him, landing several rights and left, the left to the body there. Another right to the head. So Benitez, who definitely lost the first, in our estimation, lost the second. Definitely a 2-point round here in the third, you would think. Not definitely, let me qualify that. Certainly a Hamsho round, perhaps 2 points. Again, no official knockdowns. And now we go for the fourth round. And Benitez, just in looking at his eyes, Wilfred has been staggered, he's been hurt. And it is Hamsho here in the fourth round in total control of this bout. Hamsho, the decided underdog. The one thing about Benitez, though, he has very good recuperative powers. If you go back through his career, in one fight against Bruce Curry in 1977, he was knocked down 3 times in the fight, and he won the decision. A very controversial decision, but he won it nonetheless. He was also knocked down in the third round in the welterweight championship fight against Sugar Ray Leonard in November of 1979. Leonard eventually won that on a 15-point knockdown. Benitez trying to fight his way out of the corner, and again Hamsho continually and consistently putting the pressure on. Very little leg movement from Benitez, far less than he's been prone to exhibit in the past. He's been trying to brawl with a brawler, and very infrequently can you get away with that. Decent body shot that time by Benitez. Benitez stationary in that corner. As we say, an effective counterpunch. That was a decent right, but Hamsho comes back with a left hand. Hamsho staying inside. Benitez has never really been known as a puncher, and perhaps he doesn't have enough to keep a full middleweight off. And remember, Benitez moving up in weight. This is only his second fight as a middleweight. Under a minute to go in the fourth round. Benitez making a home in that corner. He's been there the whole round. Fourth round. 25 seconds remaining. Hamsho throwing a lot of punches in the first 3 rounds. Not throwing as many here in the fourth round. And again, Benitez spending the entire fourth round in that corner as Hamsho continues to pummel him. The fourth round comes to an end. Live in Las Vegas now, the 5th round, a scheduled 12-rounder, middleweight bout between Mustafa Hamsho, the left-hander in green, and Wilfred Benitez in white. It's been totally Hamsho's fight to this point, but Benitez comes out more aggressively here in round 5 than at any other point, and he's moving also. Remember, in the 4th round, totally stationary, spent the whole round in his own corner. Now he gets back into his corner. Davey Pearl, the referee. We're live in Las Vegas, outdoors, but the ring is covered by a canopy, and it's nice and breezy, so the temperature's 100 degrees, but the humidity is low, and frankly, it's a lot more comfortable than even working indoors in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where Wilfred has had many fights. Reminder, tomorrow morning, coverage of the British Open resumes here on ABC, 4th and final round. Tom Watson leading after 3 over Craig Stadler by 1. Ray Floyd among those 2 back. So Benitez came out moving here in the 5th round, but the movement appears to be gone again. Hamsho, a left uppercut, but Benitez was backing up.
Hold it up, get up.
Hamsho with a slight cut above the left eyebrow, had it worked on between rounds. Prone to cuts, as we said before. even though he put up a very game battle against Marvin Hagler, he looked like he'd been in a war. What's interesting about Hagler is that a lot of people think that was one of Hagler's stiffest tests. And it really wasn't a test, at least as a champion. It's a testimony to Marvin that he has dominated this division, when you can say that the fight in which he won it convincingly with an 11th round knockout was one of his tougher tests. Benitez attempting to try to out-in-fight him in a way, and he's battling with a little more effectiveness here in the 5th round, but you would think that Hamsho has built up a pretty good early lead at this point. Seconds remaining in round 5.
Get your hands off his neck.
End of the 5th round. 6th round. We're live in Las Vegas. Mustafa Hamsho in green. Wilfred Benitez, who's held 3 different world titles in white. 12-rounder. WBC middleweight eliminator. A good left hand by Hamsho. The winner in line for a shot at the middleweight title, currently held by Marvin Hagler. Hamsho, you can see him roughing him up with that shoulder, trying to pin him against the ropes. No knockdowns in the fight, though. Benitez went to the canvas 4 different times in the 3rd round. It was the first time right there that Hamsho has been up against the ropes. Both fighters with that fast early pace, and it being a hot day in Vegas, showing some signs of wilting a bit here in the 6th round. Good right followed by a left delivered by Hamsho, though Benitez was able to pick off at least part of it. It's been one of Benitez's great strengths, the ability to pick off punches, to keep that head bobbing and weaving and avoid punches and counterpunch effectively. It's been one of his strengths in past fights. He has been able here to weather the storm in the 3rd round when it was quite apparent he was having trouble with his balance. He appeared to be ready to go in the 3rd round, but has shown the staying power. Though you would think that Hamsho is building up a rather substantial and sizable lead as the underdog in this fight. Especially if you give points for aggression. He has certainly been the aggressor. Sometimes a fight that is fought at close quarters inside becomes more difficult to score. But in our book anyway, it's been thoroughly Hamsho at this point. Benitez right where he has spent a good part of his fight, in the corner. 6th round about to climax.
Real life.
7th round action. Al Michaels reporting from Las Vegas, the outdoor stadium at the Dunes Hotel. Mustafa Hamsho and Wilfred Benitez. 7th round of a scheduled 12-rounder. First half of the fight, all Hamsho. I want to tell you that next week on Wide World, a week from today, WBA bantamweight champion, the unbeaten Jeff Chandler of Philadelphia, will be taking on Oscar Muniz in a non-title fight from Atlantic City. That's on Wide World. You'll get to see Chandler next Saturday. This fight has slackened as far as the tempo is concerned. Hamsho started out extremely aggressively, controlled the first round, controlled the second, and Benitez there with a decent right hand. It may have been the best hand speed we've seen exhibited by Benitez to this point. Benitez has to start becoming a little bit more aggressive because he has to know he's behind at this point. And yet he continues to stay in that corner. He has spent fully 60 to 70% of this fight in that spot halfway through round 7. Good left by Hamsho, which backed them up.
Once more, and I'm going to take points. Hold it.
I'd like to alert our local stations at the end of this round. We'll take a station break.
Watch your heads now.
You hear Davey Pearl saying, watch your heads now. Hamsho with a slight cut over his left eye, which we referred to before. It was worked on by Al Silvani, and it has not reopened. Thus far, it has not been Benitez's fight. Very difficult for him to win a fight like this. The way Hamsho has been pursuing him, smothering him really. Decent lead right by Benitez, but Hamsho just pushes him back into the ropes. Hamsho with just 2 losses in his career. And we'll be back with more of ABC's Wide World of Sports after this from our local stations. Live in Las Vegas, 8th round, Mustafa Hamsho in green, Wilfred Benitez in white. Hamsho, the underdog, Benitez favored anywhere from 2-1 to 5-2, but it's been Hamsho's fight. Mustafa has had Benitez up against the ropes. Benitez has been content, if that's the word, to fight out of that corner just about the entire fight. There have been no knockdowns, though again it was Benitez who was either slipped or was either pushed down or slipped down 4 times back in the 3rd round. Again tomorrow, coming up, 4th and final round coverage of the British Open, the American Sportsman tomorrow on ABC, and then tomorrow night 8 o'clock Eastern time, the USFL Championship game, Michigan against Philadelphia from Denver at 8 Eastern. There's a right by Hamsho. Small chant. You can hear Hamsho, Hamsho, and it's been his fight. Benitez in quest of a possible 4th world title. Again, he's won world titles in 3 different divisions. Moving up into the middleweight ranks. This is his 2nd fight as a middleweight. Came in at 157 3/4 to Hamsho's 158 3/4. Speaking of weight, how about that scene last night in Washington, D.C. with Eddie Mustafa Mohammed coming in 2.5 pounds over, and the fight with Spinks canceled.
No wrestling now. Come on, get out.
Hamsho still working inside. The action has slackened here in the middle rounds. Good right there by Hamsho. Again, it's Hamsho continuing to pressure to bore in, to work him into the corner, and Davy Pearl goes down. Hamsho picks him up. Pearl got caught by Hamsho backing up, and the two intertwined legs, and down went Davy. Round 8 in Las Vegas, scheduled for 12.
I was on the road with 3.
Ninth round in a scheduled 12-rounder. Mustafa Hamsho and Wilfred Benitez. Outside of that one round where Benitez went to the canvas 4 times without an official knockdown. If you've seen one round in this fight, you've seen just about all of them, and this one is beginning the same way. Benitez finding a home in that corner. Hamsho working inside. Fully the aggressor. In our book, building up a good-sized early lead, and now Hamsho saying, come on, come on, come out of there. Benitez, you wonder at what point you begin to have diminishing results when you keep moving up in weight. Remember, he started out as a junior welterweight, then a welterweight, then a junior middleweight. Now he's attempting to get to the point where he can fight for the middleweight championship and win a 4th time of it. You wonder, do you reach that point where when you go against bigger people, naturally bigger people, that your skills do not begin to diminish in comparison? Perhaps that's the case with Benitez, as it apparently was the case with Alexis Arguello in the estimation of many against Aaron Pryor as he tried to move up for his 4th title. Halfway through the 9th round. Oh, another good left by Mustafa Hamsho. Good jab coming in by Hamsho. Benitez has really not altered his style at all in this fight. Spent the whole fight, as we say, not only against the ropes, but in that same corner. He backs into it voluntarily, as you can see. He's trying to counterpunch, and that, of course, is his basic strength, but Hamsho has relentlessly not given him any room and very few opportunities. Now he's trying to counter, but still look at that pressure that Hamsho continues to put on in the corner as Davy Pearl separates them. So the 9th round will end where it begins, in the corner. Hamsho and Benitez. Tenth round now. You can tell that things haven't changed. There is Benitez still in his corner. There's Hamsho still relentlessly putting the pressure on. We have Hamsho substantially ahead. You could make a case now for Benitez needing a knockout, and you wonder if Benitez has a knockout punch. Now, he knocked Morris Hope out in May of 1981 with that one tremendous bolt in the 12th round. But before that, his prior knockout would be August 1st, 1980 against Tony Schiavorini. So he's had only one knockout, one KO in 3 years. And there's nothing to indicate that he's about to knock Hamsho out in this one. Nothing at all to indicate that. 10th round. Again, working that body is Hamsho. This is a 20-foot ring here in Las Vegas, and all they've needed is about 6 feet of it. Whole fight right where it is right now in that one corner. Again, a reminder, USFL climaxing its first season tomorrow night. Championship game from Mile High Stadium in Denver, 8 Eastern time. Philadelphia, best record in the league, and Michigan, hottest team in the league, coming down the stretch. British Open, 4th round tomorrow morning. Good right hand by Hamsho. Hamsho has dictated the pace and the strategy and the style. Cornerman imploring Hamsho to go underneath, keep working on that body here in the 10th round, the waiting seconds of the 10th. Scheduled for 12, Hamsho and Benitez, WBC middleweight elimination bout, live from Las Vegas. The 11th and next to last round here in Las Vegas. Wilfred Benitez coming out to the middle of the ring here in the 11th round, but then backing right back up toward that corner against Mustafa Hamsho. Again, Hamsho, as we mentioned earlier, dedicating this fight to the memory of his late trainer and manager, Patty Flood, who died suddenly in late March of this year. He came out as the aggressor in the first round. Mouthpiece coming loose. Benitez fighting out of the corner left-handed for whatever that's worth at this point. Body shot and an apparent low blow, but no indication of such from Davy Pearl. Another good right. That right jab that Hamsho has been employing. Benitez landing an occasional blow, an occasional flurry, an occasional combination starting to come out, but the whole tempo and pace of this fight and the body language, as it were, of this fight, all Hamsho. It has to be that way when one man has the other guy in the corner for the entire day. Benitez, as we mentioned early on in the fight, he's no stranger to the ropes. It's not as if he's not fighting what he normally does. He's not fighting that same type of fight that you might see him fight. He's been effective, especially against Duran, when you think about it. Palomino fighting off the ropes, but he has not been able to do that against Hamsho today. So he is where he's most comfortable, perhaps, but he's really done very little out of that position. Hamsho again putting a lot of pressure on in the corner. Under a minute to go in the 11th round. That right got through. Think back, if you've seen a lot of boxing, when's the last time you saw one fight fought in almost the same spot all the way through? Decent left there by Hamsho. But that's been it, that one corner for just about the entire fight. The end of the 11th round at hand. Live in Las Vegas, Al Michaels at ringside, Mustafa Hamsho in green, Wilfred Benitez moving up to the middleweight ranks in the gray trunks. The whole fight fought in that one corner. No knockdowns in the fight. Hamsho has controlled it. On our card, we have Hamsho well ahead. Benitez would need a knockout in our estimation. The whole fight has been not only fought in the corner, but basically the same style employed by both men throughout. Now Benitez showing more movement, perhaps sensing he needs to do something different. But Hamsho getting him back into that corner again. Both men obviously tiring and wilting on this hot Vegas day. Though the ring, as we mentioned, covered by the canopy and a nice breeze blowing through. Halfway through the 12th and final round. So this fight ending where it started, where the whole thing is taking place in Benitez's corner. Hamsho boring in, pressuring. Benitez obviously exhausted at this point. 50 seconds to go now in the fight. So Hamsho attempting to put himself in line for a shot at the middleweight championship. WBC sanctioning this as an eliminator. That's a decent left hand by Hamsho again. Hagler, of course, as you know, has signed to fight Duran in this very same ring in November. But the #1 middleweight contender is Hamsho, and he's done nothing to dispel that ranking today. So this one will go the distance. 12 rounds, and perhaps a big upset with Hamsho a decided underdog. And Mustafa raising his arms. We'll be getting the decision in just a moment as we'll return live to Las Vegas for it. But right now, let's get a report on the British Open and our colleague, Jim McKay. All right, we're back live in Las Vegas. Mustafa Hamsho, no doubt in his mind that he's won this fight, was the aggressor throughout. And Chuck Hull, the ring announcer, has the decision. Here it is.
118, 109. Good technical scores, 118, 111. And the commentary scores, 117, 111 for the winner. By unanimous decision, Mustafa.
Little doubt about that. Mustafa Hamsho not only winning it big, winning it unanimously. He had Benitez in trouble early. He controlled the fight throughout. He was never in any trouble. He dedicated this fight to his late trainer and manager, Patty Flood. The two embracing in the middle of the ring, and it's the first time they've been there in this fight because the whole fight was fought in Benitez's corner. So there he is, Mustafa Hamsho, the winner by unanimous decision, as we get Mustafa to sit on the apron here, and we congratulate you. It seemed that you controlled the entire fight just the way you wanted to.
The thing is, this fight not my fight, it's my manager, Patty Flood. I want him to be here.
This is for Patty Flood. It's dedicated to him. He was a beautiful man in boxing. We lost a good friend.
Well, we mentioned that during the fight, and obviously a very impressive, a very decisive victory for you over Benitez. Did you think that the fight would be that easy the way it turned out?
I know it's going to be. I know I'm going to beat him because I'm strong from him, and I know my manager, Patty Flood, is around me. And he wanted to win, and I went for him.
Well, we congratulate you. A very emotional victory for Mustafa
I
Hamsho.
want to say hello to my daughter, Susie, and I love you, Daddy.
Great. Mustafa Hamsho, the winner, a unanimous decision over Wilfred Benitez in Las Vegas. Travel arrangements made through. Promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong for more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service.